Hello, this is Professor Paul Gruhn, Quinnipiac Adjunct Professor, Quinnipiac University, currently teaching the ICM590 project planning class. And many of you have been following along with my kitchen project. Today is Monday morning, and according to the clock, it is 8:35. And you may wonder, why do I really care about exactly 8:35? Well, because we're talking about schedules this week in our module. You may also wonder, why am I holding a faucet in my hand? Again, it's 8:35. I have a faucet in my hand. What I don't have is a faucet being put on my sink. You can see there's tape there, and we don't have the plumber here yet. Now, the plumber, who I had scheduled to come at 8 o'clock this morning, who I had talked to a couple of times last week, had said he would definitely be here. So at 8:30, I decided to call and say, "Hey, Jim, where are you?" "Oh, I meant to call you, man. I had an emergency come up." "Well, when are you going to be here, Jim?" "Oh, well, do you need it done earlier or later?" "Well, Jim, I need it done now because I've taken today off of work to get this done." "Well, and also I have a person coming in to put in a water purification system after you do your work." You see, Jim, there's this thing in project planning called dependencies, and how one part of the schedule gets done first, and then we can do the next task after that. And Jim, you're basically taking my Project Libre and you're messing up my schedule stuff. Because I had you plan to come here at 8 o'clock, and you're going to be done by 11, and my water filtration guy was going to be here at noontime. And then by the time that the CEO gets home at 5 o'clock, she's going to have this thing called running water. Now, running water to the CEO, who likes to cook in the kitchen, use her new countertop, been really a inconvenience for the past 2 weeks not having that. We've been camping. We've been using things like plastic cutlery. So there have been a lot of inconveniences because of people messing up the schedule. So as you use your Project Libre, you'll notice that as you put in different times and amount of work, that other tasks will then get pushed out. Now, the good news is I think I'm still on target. There's enough buffer and enough space put into the project plan that I'm still hopeful, fingers are crossed, that by 5:20, which is the time the CEO will hopefully arrive home, that we will have running water, a running filtered water drinking system, and we'll actually be able to use our kitchen like a kitchen. So this week we are talking about schedules, and mainly what's really good about Microsoft Project Libre, and these project planning tools is you start to see how that when you have a certain amount of work effort, now that effort, no matter what, is still going to take X amount of time. You know, it's going to take a 3-day project, it's a 5-hour project, whatever, a week's worth of work. If that gets moved out another week or two, everything else that is dependent upon that task being done. Now, in your project planning, there may be some things that can be done in parallel. And those things where there's not dependencies, they're not going to affect necessarily the other work even getting started. So the good news is that we've allowed enough buffer. We know that our milestone target is 5 o'clock today, that we'll be able to say that our granite is really done, the plumbing is in, and we'll have a kitchen again. And then we'll be able to move on to the next aspect of the project. But I did think it was kind of, maybe, I don't know, maybe the project management gods are doing this stuff to our project just so I can give each of you students some real life case studies of why this stuff's important. And this is just a working model of how things like project planning and scheduling and time estimates and all of that, why it's so important. Nobody ever showed up and helped me paint, by the way. I still got a little painting left to do. Thank you, and have a great day.